Yeah, it's a fast car though, it's a very fast car. Here we go. That's fast. Well, it's a beautiful morning in Warwickshire this morning, Sunday morning. The air's alive with the sound of Italian motorbikes, so I thought I would bring out my Lotus Exige S and give you a brief tour. First thing to point out before going any further is this is the Generation 2 version of the Exige S. The current model is the Generation 3, very different car, and I'll briefly talk you through the differences later on in the video. But those of you who are keen car enthusiasts, particularly Lotus enthusiasts, will notice that this one has a soft top roof, where all Exige S or all Exige models come with a hard top. So this is an option that I got included with this car. So it's a matter of removing 9 bolts, taking the hard top roof off and popping the soft top on. And once you've got the soft top roof on, it's very simple. You can remove it within a minute and put it back on again. And personally, I think the car looks a lot better, in fact, with the soft top roof on. I'd be interested in any feedback on that, so you tell me what you think. Going around towards the back, you can see we've got the traditional Lotus Exige spoiler. That's how you know you're following a Lotus Exige. Big massive spoiler on the back. And we've got the Lotus Exige S emblem on the back there, the S denoting that the car is supercharged. Let's have a quick look at the engine as well. So what we can do here, we pull a little lever at the side here by the driver's door, and that opens up the rear hatch for the engine, which is clearly packed into the back there. You can see the Lotus performance emblem with the supercharge induction there, and there really is no room for luggage. Let's just have a look. There's your luggage porthole there, and there's very little room for luggage. If I put my hand in, you can see, I don't know whether you can see that, but you can, that's it folks. There's just enough room to perhaps get an overnight bag. Really not built for passengers, this car. Quick look inside the car and show you inside. So in the traditional Lotus way, you've got these very high sills that you have to step over to get in, and this does make it quite hard to get in and out. And if we go inside the car here, let's just have a quick look at, this is a nice feature I like. They've embossed the Exige name into the racing seats. And the other thing I like is the seats, both the driver's seat and the passenger seat come with these racing harnesses, 4-point racing harness. This is part, I believe, of the Exige S package. You'll also notice it's got the Alcantara dashboard. Not sure whether you can see that very well. And it's all very basic really. The radio I've got here also has, I climb across, the iPod connection, so you can connect your iPod. This one has a CD player. Not sure whether that's standard, but this is what mine came with. And with this particular model, we also have the pull for the fire extinguisher. So passengers have to get their legs over the fire extinguisher. Whatever happens, don't pull that unless you have a fire. Modifications that I've made, and it's the only real modification, is the steering wheel. So this is not the standard Lotus steering wheel. This was put on for me by Paul Matty Lotus. It's a much chunkier steering wheel than what comes with the standard car, and it does give the car a much better feel. And you'll notice that they've done a really good job here, because what Paul Matty's have done is put the Lotus emblem back into the steering wheel for me, which is not standard. So it does look really good, because it keeps the car looking a proper Lotus setup, and it definitely makes a much better feel for the car when you're driving it, to have that chunky sort of steering wheel. It makes it feel more quality, if that's the right word. So you've got the padding, electric windows, and some really nice white stitching. Probably pick it up a little bit better down here. You can see there's some really nice white stitching been put into the doors. So we've had a look round the car. Let's take it for a spin. So inside the cabin, it's a pretty tight sort of space in here. So let's adjust the seat. We have a little starting point on the key fob down here. You just press the button on here. You get the bleep. And then turn the key, just turn the aircon down there. And here we go. And it does sound pretty good. Let's give it a spin. Exige S Gen 2 and the Exige S latest generation 3, and they are massive differences. One of the key differences is the fact that the engine is twice the size on the new car. So if you're buying the new Exige S, you're getting a 3.5 litre V6 engine shoehorned into it. Also the size of the chassis of the car is much bigger. It's a wider car, and that's a good thing, because getting passengers in this car is a nightmare. If you're anything near 6 foot or bigger, you find yourself squeezed into the car as a passenger, so close to the driver that it's almost difficult to change gear, which is not so bad if you're sitting next to Jennifer Aniston, but if you're sitting next to most of my mates, that's a problem. It has absolutely no power steering, no electronic intervention really, other than basic traction control, which you can switch off, and it's so sensitive to the road that when you run over roadkill, you can actually tell what sex it was. So yeah, it's a fast car though, it's a very fast car. Here we go. That's fast. I mean, you really don't want to go any faster than that. That is bonkers. Having had the car a while now, what do I think of the car so far? Well, the advantages are, the great things about it are, it's rapidly fast, it's great fun, fantastic feedback from the road, be great for track days, although track days are not really my thing, but it would be absolutely bonkersly fast and fun on track days. And the fact on this particular one you can take the roof off during the summer months and put the hard roof on in the winter really does add a whole new level to it. So from that point of view it's fantastic. What are the drawbacks of the car? Well, I think it has probably just three significant drawbacks for anyone that might be wanting to get something like this. The first one is the size of the cabin, as we've already mentioned. Really difficult to fit people in this car, and even fit yourself in if you're 6 foot or bigger. The second regulation. It's a very stripped out car. And finally, I think for me, the only other thing that's missing, which I would like to see, is a paddle shift gearbox, because the engine is so powerful and so fast that you can't really change gear quick enough to justify its potential. That the car really does look and drive extremely well. And I think the problem that Lotus now have is that these cars can be bought at very, very good prices these days on the Generation 2 models. Given that the Exige S Generation 3, the new models, are 3 times the price, I think Lotus really do have a job on their hands, because they're almost a victim of their own success. But cracking car, absolutely amazing. I'd recommend it to anyone who doesn't want to take passengers. So here we are then. We're now going to try the, what car, Alan?
The Mercedes-Benz,
Yeah.
C45 A-Class or AMG.
AMG, and that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Is the AMG bit. And why are we trying this particular car?
Well, a couple of reasons really. One, it's got 4 doors, which is
Very
what I'm
important.
after. Yeah.
Very sensible.
Yeah, so my parents can get in the back. And we had a quick look on the internet last night, and apparently it's the most powerful 2-litre production car in the world. That's stunning. What a car!
Alan, honestly, I think if you get this, I'm not going in it.